Tonight, Hurricane Agatha has made landfall in Mexico, and the remnants of it could contribute to formation in the Atlantic Basin. And now the latest around the wide world of tropics. Tropical Weather Bulletin for May the 31st. Well, this evening across the wide world of tropics, we only have one tropical cyclone active, and that is Hurricane Agatha, moving inland now after its Category 2 landfall in Mexico. It's May 31st once again. We are code orange on T-Coast, and so far we've had 27 storms form to the date. Could that change? Certainly possible. It's growing confidence in that in the Atlantic. On 1 day left until hurricane season, a 50% chance AOI has been marked by the National Hurricane Center as the remnants of Agatha could contribute to formation, similar to Cristobal and Amanda back in 2020. Some of us might remember that, but it's not going to be the same system. Agatha is likely to lose its circulation over the mountainous terrain of southern Mexico as it is rapidly weakening now on day 17 of hurricane season. After Agatha, we are looking fairly quiet in the East Pacific. The models are not really picking up on much in the next 5 days. Let's hope that stays that way, and at least towards Mexico. This is a very significant system. Strongest storm, I believe, to make landfall in May in the Eastern Pacific. In the Western Pacific, it is fairly quiet here. 93W still has a 0% chance of formation, as it doesn't really look too good on satellite at all. The JTWC are giving it a low chance of formation within the next 24 hours. In the North Indian Ocean, it is fairly quiet here. Nothing on the models really at all, so it is very quiet here. And we also do have Invest 92S in the Australian region. The JTWC have actually designated that as a subtropical storm, but we are not recognizing that designation. Here's the Atlantic Basin on satellite imagery. The main feature on this view is really Agatha in the Eastern Pacific, and a low pressure system by the Azores. Very quiet right now, but that is about to change again with that 50% area of interest. There's Agatha on the Eastern Pacific floater. You can see it slowly moving inland there. Again, is a Category 2 at landfall. I believe it was 105 miles per hour. And again, that is going to rapidly weaken as it heads into the Atlantic Basin. The remnants of it could contribute to formation there. In the Western Pacific, it's quite hard to pick out 93W. It's that bundle of thunderstorms east of the central Philippines. Generally, that's what 93W is. And if you look towards the bottom of your screen, it's not that blow of thunderstorms by the northern territories in Western Australia. It's actually the little bit of clouds southwest of there. That is 92S. As you can see, it does not look like a subtropical storm. That's why we haven't recognized that subtropical classification. In the North Indian Ocean, it is fairly quiet here, just some general monsoonal thunderstorms in the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, but other than that, nothing signifying tropical cyclone formation in the North Indian Ocean. Here's a custom floater as Agatha made landfall with sandwich imagery and visible, both mixed together here. You can see it looked very good blow-ups of convection as that eye came ashore. It was definitely a strong hurricane. Again, Category 2, I believe it is the strongest May TC landfall in Mexico, or in the East Pacific, period, on record. And here's another custom floater tonight. This is of severe weather in the United States. Our U.S. channel is live covering this as we have the potential for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds across multiple states across the United States tonight. Let's get to the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center for what's going to happen with Agatha. You can see rapid weakening taking place by this time tomorrow. It may be a remnant low, not even active anymore. But as you can see towards the end of the forecast, by 1 a.m. on Wednesday, we're expecting it to be around the Bay of Campeche in the Atlantic Basin, and the remnants of that could help form something in the Atlantic Basin. It's not looking to be too strong, which is definitely good. In the Eastern Pacific, we are seeing a bit of a decrease in sea surface temperatures, as you'd expect near Mexico. That 30-degree isotherm has been chipped away a little bit by Agatha. In the Atlantic Basin, it is plenty warm for our area of interest, generally warming up as well as we get towards hurricane season. Again, 1 day away, and we'll be alive tomorrow night with our updated predictions and the countdown to Atlantic hurricane season. In the North Indian Ocean, it is generally warm again, 29 to 30 degrees Celsius generally here. In the West Pacific, South China Sea is piping hot, 28, 29 degrees Celsius, and the open West Pacific, generally 28, 29 degrees Celsius, even some areas of 30 Celsius showing up there east of the Philippines, in particular east of Luzon, and out into the open West Pacific near the Mariana Islands. If you look towards the southern hemisphere, it is still plenty warm for tropical cyclone activity, but the environmental conditions are just not too favorable this time of year. It's why the season ends in May. So here's the sea surface temperature anomalies. You can see where Agatha is and where that Atlantic AOY is, generally above average, but the La Nina still very prevalent there. The North Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, generally below average. I've noticed that has gone from around 30 Celsius to 28, 29 degrees Celsius in my tropical weather bulletins over the past few weeks. Here's the oceanic heat content in the Atlantic Basin, and we can see that loop current in the Gulf of Mexico really getting going there. I don't expect that our Atlantic AOY will take advantage of the oceanic heat content. We don't typically see that this time of year, but it is something to watch for, especially the later season, that we watch the oceanic heat content. In the Eastern Pacific, it has actually decreased a little bit since the last time I did a tropical weather bulletin. It's in the Western Pacific near the southern Philippines. It actually has decreased substantially in that area, but otherwise it's very high, very safe for tropical cyclone formation if the environmental conditions will allow it. Now, getting to the on this day, and a lot of us might remember this, 2 years ago, Tropical Storm Amanda had formed and it had made landfall in Mexico. This would contribute to formation in the Atlantic Basin to form Cristobal on June the 1st, and of course a lot of us remember that one. I remember that one particularly. That was around my time of joining Force 13 in the public server, so definitely something that I remember vividly, and of course that was the start to a pretty incredible season in the Atlantic Basin. Looking towards the naming list, in the Atlantic Basin, we're looking out for Alex. In the East Pacific, we're now looking out for Blast. In the Central Pacific, I don't have a joke tonight because we're code orange for Agatha, and we have some significant severe weather in the U.S., so the next name is Hone. In the West Pacific, on list 4, the next name here is Shaba. In the North Indian Ocean, the next name is Sitrang. And I wonder if we'll see any of those names on the Western Pacific and North Indian Ocean list anytime soon. In the Southern Hemisphere, we're looking out for Darien. In the Australian region, in the Southwest Indian Ocean, we're looking out for Lama. And in the South Pacific, we're looking out for Hail. Thank you so much for watching this Tropical Weather Bulletin, and we'll be live tomorrow night with the Atlantic Hurricane Season Countdown, along with a Tropical Weather Bulletin.